South Africa has launched an investigation for treason against some Afrikaners that went to the United States to accuse the country. Now, being condemned for treason in South Africa is extremely dangerous. You need to find out about this. Namibia in a nuclear cooperation with Russia. This is crazy, fellas. Namibia is one of the biggest producers of uranium. And what's going to happen if Namibia signs an agreement with Russia? You need to find out about that. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. You appreciate it. Let's get at it. We are in South Africa. Here's a map. Beautiful place, lovely people. Now, South Africa has been through the most. However, something very interesting has happened lately. The South African police has launched an investigation into high treason claims against Afrikaners minority group, which are accused of spreading false information to the US government about recently passed land ownership law. You know treason. Nobody likes to deal with the traitor, right? You cut them off. What do? You put them away. You don't want to see them no more, right? Well, in war, they're going to unalive you. Now, this is high treason. Directorate of Priority Crime Investigation, General Godfrey Lebaya, told the media that authority examining 4 separate dockets targeting specific entities, but declined to name them. So they're targeting specific entities. Now, what happened? Very simple English, fellas, okay? South Africa has multiple races. You have white, blacks, Indian, Chinese, and more. Yes. Now, some white people of South Africa went to the United States of America and told the US government that white people in South Africa are persecuted. What do they mean? Some say that the government of South Africa is trying to take land by force from white people without having to pay them anything. Some also say that white people are being genocided in South Africa. They are being systematically targeted to be unalived in the country. Now, nobody likes to hear that anybody is targeting any other group of people. No one likes to hear that. Now, America, after that, hit South Africa with sanctions. Not just sanctions, they cut out the aid that used to play a major role in the medical field in South Africa. One of the aid was called PEPFAR. PEPFAR is a system that helps many people living with HIV to combat the disease and stay alive by taking antiretroviral, also helping to stop transmission between mother to child, and paying all the member staff, all the nurses and the people that are involved into the fight against this disease. Why is this important to South Africa? Because South Africa is one of the countries with the highest level of HIV in the world. And by stopping this aid, it plays a major role into the country. Obviously, Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa said that PEPFAR only represents 17% of the effort South Africa built. But 17% is a lot. We're talking millions of dollars. Now, beside that, many other things are happening. South Africa will not receive the funds from America that was supposed to support the energy deal, helping South Africa move from fossil fuel to renewable energy. They're not receiving that money from the US anymore. It's over. These are all consequences the country is living with because some people decided to go to America and say that we are being killed. So the South African government replied through the president saying that we are not taking no land from anybody. Yes, we have a project. The project is taking land that is not used, taking land that is almost abandoned, taking land that is not invested in, perhaps repurposing it for a common use. And by that they mean the government could take a land that is open, that has never been used, that somebody took since 1913 and have not done anything to it, have left it to say. Government could take that land and use it to build an hospital. Government could take the land and build a school for children. So when they say that, a group of landowners, the majority are white South Africans, were angered by that. So they went to the United States and pledged for support from Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, with his friend Elon Musk, did not necessarily check the reality, and they hit South Africa with sanctions and cut the aid.
Terrible things are happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. So that's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination. And until such time as we find out what South Africa is doing, they're taking away land, they're confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than...
Now, South Africa wants to do an investigation of high treason of these people who went to the United States of America accusing the country of something that's absolutely not truth, or at least not completely truth. The chief of DPCI said that the case concerned individuals that may have crossed the border to go communicate some of the things that are perceived to be in the direction of high treason. High treason consists of the unlawful engagement in any conduct within or outside the border of South Africa by a person owning allegiance to the Republic with the intention to overthrow the government, violate, threaten, or endanger the existence, independence, or security of the Republic. So violating, threatening, endangering the existence or the independence of the country is high treason. So what they're trying to do is to investigate, find out if what these people did is considered as high treason. And if it is high treason, it's going to be punishable. Now, what do you risk with high treason in South Africa? In South Africa, treason is considered a serious crime, and being convicted of treason carries severe penalties. The risk and consequences of being convicted of treason in South Africa include death penalty. Yes, death penalty. Although South Africa abolished the death penalty in 1995, treason was historically punishable by death. However, since the abolition of the capital punishment, life imprisonment is the most common sentence for reason. A conviction for treason in South Africa could lead to a life sentence in prison. South Africa law allows for the possibility of parole after serving several years. But for treason, parole might be denied or delayed for a long period of time. So if you go to prison for long treason, my brother, you're not coming out. A person convicted of treason may lose their rights to vote, stand for election, or hold public office. This can lead to long-term political exclusion. The convicted individual may also lose certain civil rights, such as ability to travel freely, hold government contracts, or engage in certain business activities. So you're going to pay heavy if you are taken for treason. Government of South Africa came up with a law that will allow the government to take some land, what land? Some of the land were taken by white people a long time ago. In 1913, there was a law signed that only allowed white people to own land. Black people were not allowed to do that. They were either to release the land or be taken by force. And also, they were to work in white people's farms in order to earn a living. In 1945, the apartheid was official. White people and black people did not mingle. White to the side, left to the side. It was a very difficult time for South Africa. 1994, Nelson Mandela comes out of prison. South Africa discovered its first democratic election, where the majority black win the elections. Fast forward 2024, Cyril Ramaphosa, president of South Africa, wants to take some of the lands back from the whites because they never released the land. Let me know how you feel about that. And now we're moving to Namibia. Fellas, in Namibia, something very, very interesting is happening. Here's Namibia, beautiful place. In Namibia, you'll find a place where the desert meets the ocean. Interesting, look at this. The desert meets the ocean. You gotta go and visit Namibia. Great history. Namibia is interested in a nuclear deal with Russia. Why is everybody turning to Russia? Interesting. Namibian Vice Chancellor of the University of Namibia, Frednar Gideon, he says Russia is a reliable equal partner. That is why we are interested in cooperation with them. Meaning it doesn't push into your business or your politics. Whatever you're doing into your country is your business. Nothing to do with that. We're not going to tell you who should marry who should not marry who. No. They won't force you to do whatever that thing. Therefore, they are choosing to work with Russia. How is Namibia relevant? Well, fellas, Namibia is one of the top 5 uranium producers in the world. Uranium, fellas. 10% of the world uranium comes from Namibia. Congratulations. Now, what is uranium? Uranium is commonly used as fuel in nuclear power plants. Uranium is very important. You can make electricity with uranium and many other things. Uranium is used in military, nuclear weapons. Uranium-235 is used for the production of nuclear weapons. Uranium isotopes have been used in radiation therapy for cancer treatment. Uranium is used in space exploration. Uranium is also used as fuel for nuclear power submarines and aircraft carriers. The nuclear reactors in these vessels allow them to operate without needing to surface for a long period. It's because of uranium they can do that. They can stay underwater for a long, long time. That's what it is, fellas. South Africa is conducting an investigation to high treason against some people, some of the Afrikaners that went to the United States to go and accuse the country of doing genocide on white people, which is said to be absolutely not correct. Even though there has been cases of farmers being unalived, there is no studies that confirm that that is genocide. And also the accusation stating that the government is taking land from white people by force. has been the reason why America has had a very strong and negative stance against South Africa. Therefore, they feel like some of the people could have committed a high treason against the country and they should pay the price. Namibia looking into Russia to develop its nuclear program. Why is most African nation turning to Russia? That's a big question mark. I want to know how you feel about this. It was a great pleasure. Oh, fellas, yeah, YouTube say most of you watch, but you're not subscribed. And I don't know why you're not subscribed. But I like you. Please subscribe. We want to do 200,000 followers by the end of this month. And drop a comment. You know you got to drop a comment. God bless.